If you've been seeing headlines about self-driving taxi China and thinking robo-taxis are basically solved, let me give you a clean reality check. Yes, robo-taxis are operating in parts of China. You can find real pilot programs and real rides in real cities. But what exists today is not ready for everyone everywhere. What exists today is driverless operation inside strict conditions. And that difference matters. Here's the key concept most people miss. Level 4 autonomy does not mean the car can drive anywhere. Level 4 usually means the system can drive without a human, but only inside an operational design domain, or ODD. Translation: a defined box, a specific area, specific road types, specific speed ranges, and often specific weather and visibility conditions. So when you watch a smooth ride in a mapped zone, that's real. But it's not the same thing as replacing human drivers in every neighborhood, every city, and every situation. Now let's talk about why the world still isn't ready, even if the technology is improving fast. Reason number 1, edge cases. Cities are full of situations that are rare individually but constant collectively. Construction detours, temporary signs, a lane that disappears for a block, a police officer directing traffic with hand signals, a delivery truck blocking half the road, a weird merge that's technically legal but socially chaotic. Humans handle this with context and judgment. A robotaxi has to interpret it through sensors, rules, and confidence thresholds. And if confidence drops, it slows down, stops, or asks for help. Reason number 2, weather and visibility. A human can still drive when road markings are faded, when there's glare, when it's raining, when the road is dirty, or when visibility is just not perfect. Autonomous systems can do a lot, but they still struggle when the world doesn't look like the clean version they were trained and validated on. Reason number 3, unpredictable humans. In dense cities, you get scooters, cyclists, pedestrians, delivery riders, and people don't always behave like a rule book. They squeeze through gaps, they change direction suddenly, they make eye contact and negotiate space. Humans understand this negotiation instinctively. Robotaxis are getting better, but this is exactly where autonomous car fails moments still happen. Reason number 4, scaling is slow because the box is strict. Expanding a driverless service usually isn't just turn it on in the next district. It often means more mapping, more validation, more safety review, and more approvals. That's why you see step-by-step growth, controlled zones first, then gradual expansion. Reason number 5, rules and responsibility. Even if one city approves a program, another city might have different requirements. Liability expectations, reporting, and safety processes can vary, so it works here doesn't automatically mean it's allowed there. And reason number 6, the one people forget, is operations. A robotaxi is not just software, it's a transit business. You need fleet maintenance, cleaning, charging, remote assistance when something weird happens, incident response, insurance, uptime targets. That's why commercial robotaxi scaling is as much an operations challenge as it is an autonomy challenge. Now let's address the thing everyone asks. Why do we still see robotaxi fail clips if the technology is so advanced? Because a system can handle 99% of routine trips and still fail publicly on the 1%. And that 1% is exactly what shapes trust. People will forgive a human driver for hesitating. They won't forgive a machine for doing something confusing, freezing in the middle of a situation, or making an unexpected decision. Now what about the big forecasts, the robo-taxis by 2030 idea? Could there be a lot more robo-taxis by 2030 in major cities? Yes, that's possible. But that depends on more than software progress. It depends on regulation, liability, business economics, public acceptance, and how well these systems handle real-world edge cases at scale. So here's the point of this video. Self-driving taxi China is real. But works in a controlled box is not the same thing as the world is ready. And that brings me to the final part, why a human driver is still comfort and safety. A human driver gives comfort because humans communicate. They confirm details. They adapt to your timing. They handle pickup confusion. They reassure you when the situation is messy. They make judgment calls that are invisible when they're done well. And a human driver gives safety because humans interpret context instantly. Hand signals, unusual hazards, a sudden change in traffic flow, a road that turns into a puzzle because of construction, and accountability is straightforward in the moment. So yes, autonomy is improving, but today the human driver is still the most flexible safety system for real streets. That's why the world still isn't ready to treat robo-taxis as the default everywhere. Autonomy is a journey, but safety is a priority you choose today. Now tell me, what is your biggest question about autonomous cars? And would you ride in one today? If you want more insights into the future of mobility and real-world safety, subscribe.